let's laugh and fight. Heroes rise and fools take flight. Power levels, stats don't track. Plot armor's got my back. Masked ideals, a hollow prize. They rewrite fate with painted lies. Stripped of soul, the stories break, but legends stand, no force remake. The jesters act, no need to frown. Flip the script, we turn it around. Laugh at the hype, roll with the fun. If I'm the punchline, the joke's just begun. Let's laugh.
Well, just got the wrong one.
Once again, I got.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, just some technical stuff. My scroll, it scrolled down to the bottom for some reason. Anyway, we are here. And welcome in. And I don't know that we necessarily have anybody with us just yet, but hopefully that'll change. But we are here for a new episode. So we're going to talk about a few things today. We're going to take time to just kind of mop up the little bit of dirt that might remain from the Game Awards since we were last here. We made a whole bunch of predictions. We could have been more right. Although from what I see here in the notes that I took, I think you actually did far better than you recall. I was not as good in my predictions. I lost my prediction as well on Will's show, but I'm very cynical about award shows, so I tend to not do too well this year because it actually seemed like there was a little bit more common sense in the Game Awards this year than years prior. But we'll cover that for a few minutes and just kind of let everybody know how well we did with our predictions and any kind of thoughts that we may have coming out of it to the far as I'm aware. And then we're gonna get in some Fallout New Vegas stuff today because that's always a very popular topic around here. On your recommendation, I did start playing New Vegas again at the beginning of the week. I've put in probably about 20-30 hours already. And it's still very, very much firmly in the intro section. I haven't even gotten over to Novak yet. I'll be heading there after we get done with the show today. But I've checked out the southern part of the map, and I've got Eddie and pretty good amount of caps already, but haven't really got too far back into the narrative just yet. Just a few little side quest kind of things, exploring. But it's been a decade since I last played it. The last time I got any achievements was back in 2012 or 2013, so it's been well over a decade since I have. But yeah, that's basically what I've been doing with my free time during this holiday week. Didn't really have any family gatherings or anything like that for Christmas. I don't know what have you been up to?
Well, I've been reading the books I got for Christmas, which are Overlord and also Bleach. So I also been replaying what was it? War Sales, the DLC for Bannerlord a lot.
Nice.
Which I still have yet to stream, so hopefully that'll be a stream later. But we could probably get into it straight away then.
All right. Well, let's just get right into it. The first thing we are going to be going over, of course, is the Game Awards. I think that everything came out of it. As I was just saying, I think it went far better than anybody really anticipated. I know I was hedging my bets that they were gonna kind of filter around the awards a little bit more, but Expedition 33 really mopped up. It only didn't. All right, so the Gamer Voice Award, which is fan voting, they didn't win that one. But the only thing that they didn't actually win that they were nominated for that was in the show context was sound design, which ended up going to Battleground 6. And but
Battlefield 6?
Battlefield, sorry. Yeah, Battlefield.
Battleground.
That's how much it matters to me. I don't
But
play
it's
Battlefield.
so good. It's
Yeah.
actually a good game.
Well, Battlefield?
Battlefield 6 is like also the older, like up until
Because that's what
Battlefield,
I'm talking about. Like, I don't pay attention. That's what I'm saying. Like,
up until like Battlefield 1, it was a decent game. 5 was worse than 1. Then 2042 was dog shit. Then 6 is actually a good game though.
okay. Well, I don't pay attention to most first person shooters in general. But what I
Yeah.
was getting at is of the what it basically got every award that it was nominated for, aside from basically that one and technically the gamer's choice or the player's voice, as they call it. But other than that, it seemed to do resoundingly well.
It's weird that
And I think that
Battlefield won that because I think that Claire Obscure is actually the better game with sound design.
sound design encompasses all sorts of stuff. I mean, I think that when you're talking about the way that a first person shooter arena thing or whatever you want to call Battlefield, uh, the way that it's structured is really built around the concept of a three-dimensional landscape with everyone being able to hear things with proximity and that all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit more tuned into that sort of thing, I guess, atmospherically. But otherwise though, the sound design, everything that I've experienced with Expedition 33, I've played a very little bit of it, was gifted to me, but everybody keeps trying to get me to play all these other things, and you had mentioned that you were interested in me getting back into New Vegas, so that by the time that this new season ends, I can kind of have a little bit more, I guess, scope on the lores and the various aspects, stuff like that. But we're here to talk about Game Awards stuff right now. So we'll get that's become known in future weeks. But because of that, I haven't played as much Expedition 33 probably at this point in time as other people would like. But also, to be quite honest, I enjoy it, but I tend to go more for stuff that's geared like Fallout. If I'm going to play an RPG, I'm not really big into.
The linearness of Claire Obscure, or
I mean, I don't even know so much that it's even linear. I haven't played enough of it to really say that. But
I thought like
it's
it was more so a linear story and not open world like New Vegas.
that very well could be the case. I haven't played enough of it yet to
All right,
know. But just in terms of combat and things like that, the way that you move through the world, it's not really. I've never really been big into um,
JRPGs.
JRPGs. I guess like they're
Yeah.
all right, but I'm not a
Well, it's
dyed-in-the-wool
a
kind of fan
funny
for them.
trope, right? It's a funny trope where almost every JRPG has you killing God. Like
Right,
like some god, like you literally become a god killer in every JRPG.
right. But yeah, because of that though, I do enjoy it, and I certainly don't have a problem with it getting all the recognition that it has gotten this year. But there were other awards as well, I suppose. Is there anything specific that you want to focus in on, or should we just start at the with this article and kind of go with the flow
Probably
that
the
it has?
article.
All right. Well, let's bring that up. So the first award that they covered was, of course, the most anticipated game. By no surprise, Grand Theft Auto 6 was the most anticipated game for a second year in a row. And, if depending on how things go this year, it might end up
Yeah,
being most anticipated for a third year.
I think after 1 year, it's a bit too much. You shouldn't get 2 awards 2 years in a row.
Well, I suppose this is a special kind of exceptional award in the sense that it's for things that aren't out just yet. And so if you push it back, I guess you kind of give yourself a little bit more leeway.
Well,
But
it's like the people from, I think it was last year, right, where they were arguing that DLC won an award. And I'm like, that should not count.
oh, well, to be quite honest, the Game Awards, I don't think that it's really done with any kind of objectivity. It's fairly subjective, and
Well, to be honest,
that could shift from year to year.
out of those, I think it was clear that GTA would have won. But if
Oh yeah,
I think it shouldn't have counted this year because it won it last year. But if it wasn't going to go to GTA, I could see it going to Resident Evil or the 007 game.
yeah. Well, we were both correct in our predictions on this one because this one's fairly straightforward. So no surprises there. The next award that they have here is the Content Creator of the Year award, which
It was clear it would go to Moist Critical.
this is the only one of these things that we both got correct on this one as well. But
Like,
I don't think
especially
either of us really
after.
cared about it.
Well, I like Moist Critical, but sorry.
Right.
Like pretty much, I thought I was gonna go Moist, especially after the PR stunt he did, as in like he literally gave up all ad revenue on his videos, so like he can. Well, I think it's like his donations. I'm not sure about ad revenue, but he pretty much gave up like the like donations he could get on streams and videos because he wanted to. Like he already is a millionaire, he doesn't need more money.
Well, he's the only person from this list that I was even tangentially
Although
aware of. But
wasn't Kai Cenat the one that went to China?
I couldn't say. I don't pay attention to a
Alright.
lot of these content creators. So,
All I can say is I'm glad Burnt Peanut did not win.
but we both had that here. So we were both correct in that one. The esports stuff.
I don't really
neither
care.
of us actually voted on any of these things. Giving any kind of we didn't make any predictions on the team, on the athlete, or even the best esports game.
Well,
I think you said you chose Valorant. I did not choose anything, but
did I say Valorant?
you did say Valorant, and I said
Alright.
nothing. But
I like looking at it now. I would have thought. I definitely would have thought. I don't know why I said Valorant. I would have thought Counter-Strike now would have won.
Well, Counter-Strike did win.
I know, and why it's so. I can't imagine why I would say Valorant.
I think that you were talking about it was an older game.
Oh right, because recency bias and shit.
Right. Games for Impact. The winner was South of Profitability, which you were correct on. I chose Lost Record, Bloom and Rage, because it is the worst.
I still
and I
can't
assumed
believe
it was going to go to the worst. But
I still can't believe how you gain powers in South of Midnight is you pick Cotton. That winning Games for Impact just instantly confirms my thinking that they are all racist.
Yeah. Well, I this is one of those things where I don't really have too much to say about it because no matter who wins, the gamers,
It's a loss.
It's a loss for gamers in general. And because none of these are really any games that I would probably want to spend any time with.
What's the next? Oh, okay.
Next one we've got innovation in accessibility. Surprisingly, Doom Dark Age won. I believe in this. Let me see if I can find it
I
here.
think I said Assassin's Creed Shadows,
I'm
didn't
fairly
I?
certain that that was what you had as well. Yes. You went for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I went for South of Profitability in this one because I assumed.
Ah, see, you sure went with the other one.
Yeah, well, again, I was just kind of because I'd already chose Lost Record for the game
Yeah.
for impact, and so innovation
Why
and
Doom the
accessibility.
Dark Ages though? Like I heard that Doom sucked, by the way, but
I think they had a whole bunch of visual modes and things like that for people that have color
well, isn't
blindness and
that
stuff like that.
natural in games now for color blindness?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that this is one of those technical awards. How can we go and give somebody a thing that otherwise is probably not going to get much recognition?
Well,
Uh,
if they made an easy mode for Elden Ring, they would get this award if that was the case during their year.
Possibly, quite possibly. But yeah, a lot of these initial awards that we're going through, I'm just kind of like, okay, all
I
right,
don't really care.
right.
Yeah.
The debut indie game, first win we see here for Expedition 33. And let me double check here, but I
Before you
believe
say it, literally, like I want to bring up this is a separate game awards, but like
sure.
it has to do, so we're gonna leave in. But literally, the Clarebsker losing their award for Game of the Year at some other award because they used AI is such bullshit.
And yeah, it's getting used in the dev process. There's a lot of static
Dude,
about that
A
whole situation,
literally
but
AI will make it so games will no longer take 10 years to make, they'll make two.
well, that is the interesting aspect of this. The same people who complain about the usage of AI for productivity are also the people that will complain that devs have to go through crunch and have to work all these insane hours. And it's like, all right, so do you want people to have productivity tools, or do you want people? Like, there's no winning with a certain group of people. They're gonna nitpick the bullshit until there's nothing good that can ever come from it, because it's either, all right, so you're sitting here saying that we have to do all this stuff by hand, especially when it's just for prototyping phases and things like
Well, like,
that.
did they
it,
complain about procedure generating shit? Like, for instance, Subnautica, when it was first starting out, right, was a procedurally generated
right,
world instead of a set one like is now.
right.
So literally, why didn't they complain about that? That's all computer generated.
Because most of these people don't know what the fuck they even think. They're looking for the signs of what the current topic is to and the current perspective they're supposed to have on it. A lot of people don't really think about this stuff.
I
I can
just
s-
think
I
there's
can
no difference between that
no.
and AI.
Well, all right. So
Well, you know what
using
I mean
using
when I say
oh
no
yeah. Oh
difference.
yeah, no. Using AI in a prototyping phase and in the development, early development, is no different than going and finding source art that's evocative. It's just, it speeds things up if you can go and say, "Hey, can you make me an image that has these qualities?" Whatever. It doesn't mean that that's even the way the game's going to ultimately look, and
Yeah,
a lot of
they
that
just
stuff
had it
isn't
in
even
early
necessarily in
stages.
there.
They didn't even have
But
it in the release game.
the point being, though, like, because it was the indie game awards that went and rescinded the win after the fact, after it had been recorded and everything like that. But that's simply, I think, because someone was butthurt that Expedition 33 did as well as it did at the Game Awards, and they just had to try to find a way. Because what do I always fall back on? The stuff, stealth marketing. I'm fairly cynical. Uh, and you can kind of see that ideology took precedence at the Indie Game Awards. But I don't think most people really give two shits about the Indie Game Awards.
No, it's not like the
Um,
Game Awards where it has some popular shit,
right,
you
right,
know?
right. And so when I saw people kind of getting up in arms over it, I was like, just laugh it off. It's fucking retarded. It's not. This is like,
Oh, you can't say that anymore. It's not
oh,
PG.
oh well. I,
No,
I,
just
I,
fucking with
I
you.
am the problematic white guy after all. I guess I do say the things that I'm not supposed to. But point that I'm getting at is, if the game that you like did really well in what is considered the mainstream, um, awards ceremony for the year, and then these smaller level award ceremonies decide that they're going to buck the trend and they're going to do this. I think that that's more so that they can be included in the conversation and actually have, because no one would have paid attention to the Indie Game Awards uh, had they not gone and had their little.
All publicity is good publicity.
Exactly. So I kind of put that down to what that was there for. Now, we both chose Dispatch on here, and so we were both
Really,
wrong.
we both chose Dispatch.
Yep, and we were both wrong. But that is
Was that the
because
only one they were like Dispatch was on, or
I'm not sure. I,
well,
we'll
let's
see as
just
we'll see as we go.
we'll see.
But yeah, the next thing that we covered, of course, well, it's got community sport here. Um, Community sport was between Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. Let me double check. I believe you got this correct, and I was incorrect. Let me double
Yeah,
check.
you said No Man's Sky, right? Because
No, not for this one. For this one, I didn't actually give a clear cut answer.
Oh, okay.
In time, because we were talking about other things, and then we moved on to the next thing before so I just put myself as no answer. But you were correct in Baldur's Gate 3, so points to you for
Would you
community
have
sport.
said No Man? Like, if you were back then, would you have
Uh,
said No Man's Sky?
if I were, yeah, I mean, I wasn't even thinking about Baldur's Gate 3, but I do think in terms of community support, the way that it's been supported over all these years, um, I think speaks well to the way that it actually has, developed a community. Um,
Yeah,
so,
I
but
enjoy the game. I think it's better than Starfield.
yeah. But I know a lot of people do enjoy Baldur's Gate 3, and I believe this is the only award it actually picked up in the evening. So,
Well,
yeah.
is it like an old game? Like, it's a year old game now?
It came out fairly early in 2025, I think so. But
Oh,
but it No Man's Sky will appear again later on, so maybe that's kind of what it comes down to. Best adaptation. I did not choose anything on this one either, because I hate all of these.
yeah.
Um, you did say The Last of Us, so you did get the point on that. But listening back to
Dude, it
what we
was
were saying
just
in our
so
predictions,
bad.
yeah. Um, I don't think that any of these are really all that deserving, especially when
Dude, Sonic should have
Sonic,
been on there.
right when Sonic came out, and should have been part of the contention for
The
this.
newest Sonic, did you see it or no?
I have not seen the three movies. I figure what I'll probably just do is, now that they're all three out, I'll probably just watch
Well,
all of
we
them in
don't know if there'll
succession.
be a fourth soon.
Right. Well, there's that possibility,
I'm
but
not sure which one it is, but one of the movies has a meme with like the two Robotniks dancing.
I think that might be the second one, but I could be wrong
Like, is
because
that like
I
some
haven't
alt
watched them.
like I know you didn't watch it. I'm asking this rhetorically, but like
Mm,
that some like alternate universe shit with two Robotniks like from I don't know.
I honestly couldn't say. I'd have to watch, and maybe I can give you a thought on it later on down the line if it ever comes up again. But yeah, I think that Sonic 3, this the third movie, was better than anything here on this list. But you did technically get the point. But Last of
It
Us,
did say that it should have been Sonic during that stream though.
yeah, both of us were saying that. So I contend that we were correct in that. Best VR game. Um, Let me double check here.
I don't
because
think I know any of these.
right. I believe. All right. So I said Deadpool and you said Alien, and it actually ended up going to this Midnight Walk, which I'm
Dude,
not
all right.
even
I did
sure
know
was
Alien and or the whatever you said, I forget.
Deadpool. Yeah.
Yeah, I did know those two, but like I didn't it should have been one of those two.
Right. I don't know anything about most any of these games. I only
Well,
know
this
the
looks like a
properties.
VR game, or it looks like a horror game, right? And horror does wonders in VR.
I suppose. But yeah, neither of us got any points on this one. We were split on our decision, going for things that we knew about more so than anything else. Um, but yeah. Moving on though, we've got best strategy sim game.
I was so pissed.
Right. Yeah, you and I, which is interesting because on Will's show, I actually did say Final Fantasy Tactics. So I would have been correct on that prediction over there. However, my predictions here were not exactly the same. And when we were talking about, you said you were talking about Jurassic Worlds, which is what you chose. And I ended
I
up just
love it. I love that game.
and I ended up saying, yeah, sure. I've played them, so we were both wrong on that choice. It looks like.
Although Final Fantasy is like the industry, like what is it called? Like plant. Like it literally is like the people behind there are all into like DEI and shit. So
Hmm.
obviously, like that would probably have won. I'm not sure what is this like. Like I've never even heard of this game. It has to be like a mobile game or something.
Uh, I honestly, I
Like
think
I
that
would have heard if it was a PC release.
I couldn't tell you anything about it. I know that Final Fantasy Tactics was a thing back in the day. And I don't know if this is a remaster retelling of that or if this is
Oh, if
based
it's a
around.
remaster, I probably wouldn't have heard of it then.
Yeah, but isn't that Final Fantasy 12
I
territory?
have no idea.
I don't know, but yeah, again, it's just one of those things where it's like I'm not too worried about it. When it's all said and done with, I suppose for Final Fantasy, yay, they got to win. But if you enjoy
Didn't we
Jurassic,
both say Mario Kart on this one?
this is for the best sports racing game. Yeah, you actually, let's see. I believe yes. Sports and racing, we both went for the obvious Mario Kart World. Although uh I think we both had said though that Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is actually a better game, but there's no way that Nintendo is going to get into this thing and not win. Which again, my predictions don't match it because on Will's show I actually did go with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and did not get the point over there in that prediction. But here with you, we did both go for Kart World. Um, so yay. I think that this one was kind of an obvious.
I should have bet on these fucking awards. I would have made some money.
You actually
Dude,
did far better than you recall.
I
From
would have made cash like betting on all the awards on like Poly Market or some shit.
yeah, well, like I say, you got 15 of them correct. So yeah, you did actually pretty well. The next thing we talked about, of course, best RPG.
This had
Uh,
I think we had to have both said Cleric
I'm
here.
fairly certain. Let's see. Um, mm, mm, mm. Let's see, because yeah, when they did the nominations for them, they did them in a different order than the way this article has them listed. So give me just a second. Role playing. Actually, for whatever reason, you were kind of cynical about this one. You said Outer Worlds was going to get something. Um,
Maybe. Yeah, I
yeah,
probably
yeah,
would have said
you,
that.
yeah. I double checked it this morning, so I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure, because your reasoning was that Expedition 33 is going to get Game of the Year, so they'll probably give RPG to something else.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm gonna go with Expedition 33, so I got the point on that one. Um, but yeah. Uh,
If I was to go over it again, like I probably, even if like it was the same context, I probably would have went Avowed, not even Expedition, because like both of those games were just so fucking dog shit, and like they were industry fucking like games, not actual games for gamers.
right. Yeah, I call that one a void. I heard a lot of people were not happy with a NPC character tag along in Monster Hunter Worlds, and it had technical issues. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was controversial throughout its release for a variety of reasons, all
To
the
be
way up
honest,
to.
I don't think my problem with Kingdom Come was really that, like, I don't care if there was a optional gay relationship in there. My problem was the fact that they lied about it being like actually like historically accurate.
Right, right. Well, and that's what I was on the way to saying is I think that the developers themselves have probably caused more ill will towards this than the game itself, and it has only gotten worse seemingly since the Game Awards. I believe the head from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 had some kind of ex post, basically just crying about not winning and how,
Yeah, the
yeah.
dude was such a
So
fucking shitter. Like,
so yeah, I think that doesn't, if you don't win an award, who cares? As long as people enjoyed your game, you made money, whatever. Is it really that
Kingdom
big?
Come
But
2, I think, was also a success, wasn't it?
successful enough, I would say. But yeah, the dude, the head of the development team, he's big mad, and he's very much in his feels when it's all said and done with.
Yeah,
This,
I think I voted Marvel Rivals on this one.
all right, so yes, this is for the best ongoing game,
It
and
should have been Marvel Rivals. Fuck.
let's see, best ongoing. You were between. Let's see. Yeah, best ongoing. You actually chose. You weren't completely clear on it. You said Final Fantasy 14 or Helldivers 2. You were also talking about Marvel Rivals at the beginning, but
Yeah,
then
I think I
so
went cynical again and said, "Oh, they're definitely gonna give
right,
it to
right,
those two."
and so you were kind of doing the stream of conscious kind of thing, and I said I'm going with No Man's Sky on this because it is, to me, you know, a game that when it first debuted had all the
Is
problems
this
that it
like its
did.
third award of this type too?
Possibly. I mean, they've been supporting this game for over a decade now, so the fact that they keep putting free content into it, and they've added in all these new features, and
I
just
swear it must have won like 1 year on Steam too, like the Steam Awards.
most likely, but it's a really good game. So that's why I wanted to vote for it somewhere, which is why I didn't vote for it again later, because I'd already predicted that it was going to get it on this one. Um, so uh, so yeah,
All
I,
right.
I can't feel too bad about that. But the next thing we've got here is best mobile
I
game.
won, I think this one. I love
You very much did, and
horse anime girl fucking game. Let's
you
go.
you asked me how it was that I didn't even know anything about it. And I'm just like, I don't know, just don't really know
I
anything
knew
about it.
it. It would. I knew it would won. It was either that or Wuthering Waves.
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't even actually have a real selection. I think when I was on Will's, I think I ended up choosing Persona 5 was what I went with over there, and that was only
Wait,
because I
Persona
really
5 is on mobile? Isn't that fucking. Wasn't it originally a fucking PC and Xbox and shit game?
I think that this is
It's like when
this
Civ 2 went on fucking phone, right? It's
right,
like.
but I think that this is a side title. This is an addendum kind of thing.
Oh,
Like
so it's
this
Persona
isn't Persona
5.
5. This is Persona 5 colon the Phantom X. So it's like its
Okay.
own little thing, but it's just kind of, there, I think, for marketing. But yeah, you were correct on this. And since that
Let's
time,
go.
I have learned more about Pretty Derby. It seems interesting enough, and evidently the anime is enjoyed by a lot of people as well.
Gold
But
ship, best horse.
yes, but yeah, you totally got the points on that one. Then we got, of course, best independent game. Went to Expedition 33. Let me see if I can find what our choices were here. Let's see. All right. We were both wrong.
Oh, we were both wrong.
Yeah, we both chose Hollow Knight.
Damn.
Because I think we were thinking, like
We had to think that they're already
the
winning
indie. I
so
think it
many
was
awards.
right. Because yeah, and so we went for Hollow Knight on this one, and we went for Dispatch on indie debut. But Expedition 33 actually ended up getting both of the indie
They
game and the
swept.
yeah, which becomes very apparent as we go through this. The next one, of course, is Best Fighter. And on Will's predictions, I was correct on that. However, my predictions shifted, and over here, you went for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And I ended up going for Capcom Fighting Collection because I wasn't really, I guess, paying attention. But I'm glad Fatal Fury won. Somewhere I was right on a prediction, but it wasn't for this show. And yeah, we were both kind of out on this one. But from what I've seen with Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, looks like a decent enough game. I really don't play fighting games much anymore, though.
The only fighting game I own on Steam is the Bleach one that released recently.
Right. Let's see. Next one
Well,
we
that
got
is the
here.
most modern audience looking woman I've ever seen.
It's certainly out there. Anyways, we got best family game, and
We
winner
both got this right.
Donkey
I
Kong
think.
Bonanza. Yes. Best family. We were both correct on this one because
It literally the two awards having to do with fucking Nintendo we were right on.
right on this show. However, on Will's, I believe I chose Mario Kart World on this one, and then I did Donkey Kong somewhere else or something like that. But yeah, we were both correct over here on this. Pretty much, if Nintendo is vying for an award, they paid for sponsorship for the Game
Yeah.
Awards. So the idea that they weren't going to win something I thought was laughable. So yeah, we hedged our bets and we were both correct there. Then we're coming up on the best action adventure game.
We had to have been both right on this, or one of us is.
Let's take a look here. Let's see. Action. Best action. Let's see. Nope, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Best action adventure. Action adventure. Okay, so that's the reason why. All right. Action adventure. I have Hollow Knight. You have Hollow Knight, and the winner is indeed Hollow Knight. So yes, we were both correct on that one.
I really should bet money on all this.
Yeah, which I think is fairly straightforward. Now, this is the other one that I was just getting confused on because they've got Best Action and Best Action Adventure. Best Action winner is Hades 2. And you chose Shinobi, and I chose Ninja Gaiden. We're both wrong.
Damn. I knew Hades was gonna win something though. Like
Right.
that was
You were pointing out that
Aphrodite literally looks like a trans woman. Come on. Like her Aphrodite is known for her huge breasts, but they make her fucking small as shit in the actual fucking game.
Yeah, well, you did point out that you were surprised that we hadn't really voted for Hades 2 on anything. But yeah, you mentioned it. So but you ultimately did not decide decisively that you were going to go for it, but you kind of hedged your bets on that. So you at least had it in the conversation. Best score and music.
We had to have both been right on this.
I
It's music in
believe.
particular.
Let's see. Best score, yes, Expedition 33 all around. I was talking about how I really enjoyed Death Stranding 1 and the sound and the score and everything for that,
Did
but
Jeff
ultimately
Stranding win anything, by the way?
it did not. It did not. And it should be happy just to have been nominated because I mean, it went from selling 10 million copies the first game to 2 million. So that goes to show how much people actually gave a shit about what was going on in that. And, not to say that it's a bad game, but it's certainly not to most people's taste. And,
I
and
mean,
they even shifted
I
their
feel like
design.
it's a bit of a boring game.
It's certainly meditative. When I play it, it's one of those games I could just sit there and just kind of do, and I can think about other stuff while I'm doing it because it's fairly mechanical.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I enjoy it, but it's certainly not a game that has wide mass appeal.
Yeah.
I
I
think it's
mean, you're a male. I mean, you're not even a fun mailman like in New Vegas. You're a boring mailman.
that's valid. That's valid. Let's see. Next thing we got here, of course, best performance. Three of the
I
nominees
think we both voted for Claire of
were
Scare, but unclear which one.
from what I have here, because it's the very first one that we actually did,
Oh,
we we had both said that with three people being nominated, and Jennifer English having already won previously as that, and her being a woman, we both actually said, yeah, she's gonna get this award as well, and she did. And thankfully, she didn't talk about queer joy this time, but she did
I thought
talk about
she
being neuro.
actually. I
She
thought she did though.
Oh, no. She mentioned neurodivergence at the Game
Right.
Awards. It
Dude,
was the
it's
other award.
autism. Like, what is this neurodivergent shit? I'm autistic, and it's literally autism. Fuck off with this neurodivergent
Right.
bullshit.
Well, you might not like the word autism, so they're gonna try to soften it for you. Like all this stuff is just entirely asinine. They're always trying to hide things way behind softer words and phrases and all that. But yeah, Jennifer English, her performance as well. But the more that you kind of
Well,
get into her own
to
internal
to
psychology, the more it kind of loses
to
me.
bring up something in the Fallout, like without going too much into it,
Mm,
in the Fallout video, there's something similar with a voice actress in New Vegas. So we'll get into that though. It's
indeed.
the characters section is the first one in the video, so we'll definitely get to it, which
Right.
will be interesting.
Yeah. I think we're almost done here. Let's see. Best narrative, of
I
course.
think we both had to do
Expedition
Claire Obscure.
33 wins on that. And yes, this was one where we were all correct as well. Because I think it's pretty straightforward, given the choices here. Clearly. Ghost of Yuotai, Departure from Ghost of Tsushima, which is the story people wanted to have continued.
He
Uh,
literally invades Mongolia. Why would no one want that?
they were just thinking ESG money and whatnot. Silent Hill F also seems to be kind of a diversion from
I know. I
the
heard
previous.
they removed the fog. Like, what is that? The entire point of Silent Hill is the fog.
I can't say one way or the other, but yeah, the fog is pretty important to have there. It is kind of sets the whole tone.
I could
But
have seen them giving it to Kingdom Come too.
possibly. But you know, I don't know. I think Expedition 33 wins on all of its merits.
Yeah,
And this
I
one
mean, I'm
fairly
just saying
definitively.
from my point of view, I could
Right,
see it going to that.
right. But yeah, we were both correct in that prediction. Then we got best multiplayer.
I think did I say Battlefield 6 or did I
Nope.
say Arc Raiders?
We were both correct on Arc Raiders on this one. Uh,
Okay.
which I think is fairly straightforward. Easy to understand why. It's a great game. A lot of people enjoy
I'm
it.
gonna be honest. Before we move on from
Uh huh.
this, I saw that Night Rain was an option. I feel like co-op should be separated from multiplayer because they are clearly very different genres. Like co-op, you're literally cooperating, while multiplayer, you're literally against other players. Like it's very different.
Uh, you know, uh, you can pick apart these things and make them into
I'm not
smaller
saying it
subjects.
shouldn't.
I know, right. But I'm just saying, like, you could make a whole other award for uh one versus the other. I think what the issue is though is a lot. There's not that many co-op games to begin with,
I
and
know that
so
I
and
wish Fallout would become co-op. I'd love to play like a game with friends that be in
yeah,
Fallout.
and so I think that the idea is that you just lump it in with multiplayer in general because it's just it's involving
Yeah,
other
fair
people
enough.
because otherwise
By the
co-op just
way,
doesn't really
Arc
get.
Raiders is literally a co-op game, though.
Oh yeah, truly.
Literally, well, not even in the sense I'm talking about, though, because literally you don't even fight other players; they're all passive.
Right. um and but that isn't something that was inherently built into the design. That just seems to be something that's developed out of the people that are playing it,
That's
which is
literally
kind
the
of interesting.
players, right?
Yeah. Best game direction. uh
I think what are the options? It's so small. I
let's
want to
see.
say I said Claire Obscure.
Let's see. I'll have it here for you in just a second. Let's see. Um, yes, you were correct on Expedition 33. I was assuming that they were going to try to get Hideo Kojima on the stage, and so I went with Death Stranding too. So
Nah, they got the
I
other
was wrong.
Kojima, Todd Howard, to give an award.
Right. So yeah, I was not correct on this one, but I can't feel too bad about that because evidently uh, Claire
This
Obscure,
game
yeah.
awards was actually correct on a lot of shit.
Well, yeah, it was. I think that was kind of my most surprising takeaway from the whole award show itself was that it actually seemed rational and not so
Well, to be
corporatized.
fair, the Nintendo awards I think weren't rational, but like
Well,
that's a different story.
right. But more or less though, for the most part, this was a big win for indie gaming in the sense that it showed up, and that's why it, when the indie game awards went and pulled their shit with Expedition 33, it was kind of like, wow, you guys really don't even know how to appreciate all the
Yeah.
good work that this title has done for independent gaming as a concept. But we already mentioned all that, so we don't need to necessarily go into it again. Next one we've got here, best audio design. Of course, the one award that Expedition 33 did not win that it was
We
nominated
had to
for.
have both said Claire Obscure because it like
Let's see. Let me double check here. Uh, mm, mm,
oh actually I might have said Ghost of Yotai and this just to give them an award as a pity award.
Let me double check here. Audio design. You actually have on best game design. Believe it or not, you chose Ghost of DEI.
Damn,
And
I knew I said it. Like that's I couldn't even remember what I said because I
yeah,
might have said Battlefield 6.
yeah,
This
and
had to have been, oh, they're gonna give it a pity award.
right. And we kind of moved along before I could really even give a definitive answer.
Really,
So
that's a I should have
so,
fucking let you
so
vote more.
that's all right. It's all right.
What would you have said though?
With these choices, um, God, I probably would have gone with Death Stranding just because like it's a technical award. Um, you know, um, so either way, it's fine. But then art direction. I've got. You also in this one, because you're like they're gonna give Ghost of DEI something somewhere, so you also chose Ghost of DEI here for that, and I chose Death Stranding because I assumed, at some
The
point in time,
exact
Death
same
Stranding is
thing.
gonna,
It's just a
yeah, Death
different
Stranding is gonna
shade.
have to get some kind of win somewhere for something, and I know it's not gonna be for Game of the Year.
It got
So
nothing.
so yeah, so we were both incorrect there. And then we've got, of course, the Game of the Year without hesitation, obviously, easily was Expedition 33, and
We had Joe Bolts and
oh yeah,
Clear Obscure.
yeah, and let's see, I should have it under here under. Should be our last one. There it is. So yeah, Expedition 33 we both chose. And so when it's all said and done with, of the various ones that we did uh, make predictions on, you got 15 points out of something like around 20 total categories that we predicted. And I got 12 points. So you did far better than I did. And but my main takeaways from the Game Awards this year was it was great to actually see Clair Obscur do as well as it did in getting recognition. The other aspect, though, normally when the Game Awards happens, it seems like it's more interesting for the games that they're announcing. But most of the things they announced this year, I have no interest in,
Yeah,
or
same.
lukewarm at best.
2
And
fucking Lara Croft games.
right, and that high guard thing that the last thing that they showed, like the big, oh, get ready for this, and it was such a wet fart of
Fucking Concord, what version 3
right.
is the
And
meme
so,
going on? Because what was it? Marathon was Concord version 2, right?
right, and so yeah, it was. I just thought that was kind of interesting that this year all these things that were getting shown off are either things that are just rehashes,
Remakes.
remakes, yeah,
Yeah, it's
remasters,
so
or
dumb.
just so completely obtuse and up
Well,
their own
wasn't
ass
one
that
of the Lara Croft games a new game? The other was a
one
remake?
is a remake and then the other one is a sequel to the Dark Shadows series, or which it's carrying on from. So one is a remake and another one is a sequel to one of the previous
I'm
trilogies, something like
surprised.
that.
Like, literally, this was the time for Todd Howard to announce Elder Scrolls 6 with some trailer.
All right,
But, like, they've had years at this point. They announced it in 2018.
right. But yeah, it was an interesting Game Awards though this year, especially for me being as cynical as I am towards them. I and that did not work well for me in terms of predictions because they just did the right thing and they actually paid attention to a
Yeah,
game
but
that
I
kind of
was
came out of
just
nowhere.
as cynical, and I
Oh yeah,
somehow got 15 right.
right. But like I said, that was, to me, that was kind of the more interesting thing, was that this year's Game Awards, they really cut down on, clearly, of course, they still had their accessibility awards, they still had the game changer thing that they did and everything like that. But compared to years past, this is probably the most based in the actual gaming culture that
Yep.
the Game Awards has been for quite some time. So I thought that was kind of really cool, and the fact that they really just didn't try to shy away from the fact that most of the things that were getting nominated this year were independent releases, and that AAA title space is kind of lost at sea without a rudder to correct its correct where it's going from here.
And
So I
then,
thought,
quick question.
uh
How do if I share the do I share the media the screen, right, for the next thing?
what you want to share are URLs. You want to share screen based on
Share screen,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Media is for files that you have on your computer, and then the share screen is for stuff that we're
Okay.
sourcing from.
I just wanted to
Awesome.
make sure
Yep.
that it wouldn't show up on the screen without a thing.
No worries. Well, let me go ahead and get my transitional elements set up, and then we will get right onto that, because I assume from here we are going to be talking about the making of New Vegas.
Yep.
All right, so let's bring that up right there. Booyakasha. All right. And yeah, this is it's about 45-minute long video that you can watch here on YouTube.
It was a DVD release before becoming a YouTube video, but I will probably only cover the first two. Like there's like 5 or 6 sections. I want to
yeah,
say we'll
yeah,
cover the first two, and we can always cover it again some other time.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Or I
once
can
it gets
cover
into the
it
more technical
solo.
aspects, it's pretty straightforward from there. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's. But yeah, I watched it this morning, and then I also watched the animation right after that, and then uh, checked our predictions. So I've been just toiling away, working on the
Well,
show.
I didn't watch it all yet. I wanted to watch I watched the first section, which was the characters, which is I think the most important section to get through.
No worries. Well, I just I put it on because I was just I had it on, but I wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily focusing on it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to at least kind of get a rough idea of what we'd be covering into. But with that said, let's take a look at what it actually is.
Oops. I removed you from the scene by accident.
It happens.
Alright, let me just full screen. Oops. There we go. Yeah, it's like 48 minutes. We'll only get through a little
The one thing
bit.
about Fallout's always done is really kind of had fun people acting in it. And with Fallout 3, it really continued. And so we want to make sure we're still doing that. And obviously, you have Ron Perlman coming back.
Ron Perlman has been the voice of Fallout for so long, it was kind of like, well, of course he's going to be the narrator.
You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express.
It's nice to be.
I mean, Ron Perlman is a legend. Like, dude came back for even like Fallout 4. I think they actually replaced him as the main like narrator in 76 though.
Yeah. But and that's the thing. I think he does really great work in the Fallout series. But as time has gone on, Ron Perlman, separate from his work, is really quite something else entirely. But I appreciate all that he brought to the narration in Fallout 3 and in New Vegas as well.
Something I want to preface, right?
Mhm.
Like all these people aren't they aren't like career voice actors. They're actually
Right.
actors who are turning into voice actors for this game, which I think is what made New Vegas great, because like voice actors have their own set of priorities. Like they don't like when they embody a character, they're more into like they aren't as into playing the character as injecting their bullshit into it.
I can see that. Yeah, I suppose if you go with people that this is their stock and trade, they probably are a little bit more
There's
geared for something
something a
like this.
bit more formal in actual acting than is in like voice acting. It's like very different. Like even though it's both acting, it's like very different like shit. So
Working on this same character for this many installments over this span of time.
The legate is crowned as the new Caesar.
but let me check my thing real quick.
Took it character.
Because I think it's on. Oh no, it's on auto. I think it's just a video actually.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, you're talking about a video sourced from what,
Yeah,
10 years ago. So
2008.
To character and just look for who would really be the best voice for the role.
The man who tried
that,
to
and I also
murder
think
you,
they have some
who's
filters
voiced by Matthew
going,
Perry.
so it looks a little bit, dilapidated.
The man who tried.
Chris Avalone is the base dude. Like you heard what happened to him, right? With the false allegations and bullshit that got dropped from several projects. And
Right.
that's why I will never buy another Dying Light game. Like I would have loved to bought the Beast, but I don't want to support that company anymore after dropping him over bullshit allegations.
Right.
Also, the Vampire the Masquerade too. They dropped him there.
To Murder You, who's voiced by Matthew Perry in the game. This guy is the leader of a gang called the Chairmen.
I play Benny, who is a very driven, kind of rat pack type guy.
Baby, you can't just leave me tied up. Those Legion boys will put me on a cross.
I gotta say though, like I love Matthew Perry, but this is like Benny's voice acting was actually kind of bad. Like it's really the only bad voice acting. Besides a 13-year-old girl playing a hooker in one part of New Vegas, that's all types of bad. But this is like bad voice acting. Like Matthew Perry was great in Friends. I'm actually unfamiliar with a lot of his other work, but I loved him in Friends.
Well, I think it goes back to what you were just saying about the differences between a voice actor who's trained for this sort of dedicated task, and
well, he's really the only one in this cast that is really like not like bad as the character. Like,
right.
It's the exception, not the rule when it comes to New Vegas.
Right. But also I kind of think, like you got Matthew Perry there doing voice work. Are you really going to be too critical of him? So that's probably what it was. He probably was given a little bit more leeway than other people might have been.
Well, I don't know about that because a lot of these other voice actors are really popular too, like not just Matthew Perry.
Sure. But what I'm saying is, because he's not necessarily a voice actor, him coming in as a celebrity.
Well, I'm an actor, my bad. Well, a lot of these are celebrities.
Well, sure. But
Danny Trejo?
Oh yeah, but the point I'm getting at is is that they probably weren't as critical of the people who are coming in as celebrity voices, and if they did a good job, awesome. If they did, something that was serviceable, that's good enough.
Well, I'd say Benny is serviceable, but
yeah,
but it's not like Matthew Perry's best work.
Well, to be fair, what we've learned in the years since, what was at the time, the fact that he's more or less sober throughout this whole making of documentary.
Well, I'm not sure if he's actually sober though.
True enough. But that's what
he was doing drugs for a long while, but it's tragic.
Right. And so that's the thing is like, maybe his output could have been a little bit better if he weren't, dealing with so many personal issues and things like that. But it was still serviceable. It still works.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't like Forspoken bad, but it was.
Few things are.
For the mess you made, if I'm lucky.
He's really, really enthusiastic and a genuine fan, and he was really easy to work with. He seemed to really get the idea behind the character.
Any questions you got, I'll answer.
Fallout is just bigger and smarter than any game I've played before. There's like just amazing amounts of things to do, and I like the idea that you can, sort of pick what you're going to say to somebody and go on all these quests, and it's just this gigantic world that seems sort of endless.
Like I said, baby, all Benny needs is a stealth boy and a bobby pin.
I also, have gone on dates and stuff too. Like I'm not just a moron who just plays video games.
I just gotta say this was a definite product of the time because it wasn't as okay to be a guy who plays video games as
out and out.
Yeah, especially someone of his caliber. To turn out to be a gamer is a bit more ruination than actual nowadays.
I get that in there.
You'd do that for me, baby? Don't tease me if you don't mean it.
The DJ of Radio New Vegas is Mr. New Vegas, and it's voiced by Wayne Newton.
Howdy, folks, it's Mr. New Vegas.
I think Wayne Newton did a heck of a job.
I agree. I love Mr. New Vegas.
Yeah.
Do you know a VTuber called It's a Gundam or no?
Yeah.
He's on Friday Night Tyson stuff, but he's doing a radio mod where he references shit like the people protesting for Deathclaw rights were subsequently by the Deathclaws. And like it's like a parody radio channel for like modern day bullshit.
Right? I might have to look into that. I need to see how well I can get mods to work for Fallout 3 on my Steam Deck. But I'm right now. I'm just playing through it again, vanilla. But it
It's the mod's not out yet, but it is in the works. Like it's gonna be released either next month or soon.
okay. Well, I'll have to keep an eye out for that for the possibilities. But like I said, I still need to even sort out how easy it is to get mods working
I've
for
never,
Fallout
I
3
like,
on Steam Deck
I
specifically.
only ever mod PC. Like even on console, I never really played with mods on console. Like like Skyrim Special Edition had mods on console and shit.
Yeah.
So
Well,
did Fallout 4.
a lot of mods are fairly straightforward. It's usually just put this folder here with these files in it, and Linux can do
Well,
that just as
also
easily as
you
Windows can. But if you've got
some
like a
the keys on a keyboard is many more than that on a controller too. So that's something you have to toy with.
right, well, with with mods, the difficulty for Linux comes in when you have mod loaders, and I have seen that a lot of the Fallout New Vegas mods specifically seem to be collections of various mods, and you're using a mod loader. So that's where I'm kind of like a little bit hesitant. And I was like, you know what? Rather than go and spend the next 2 weeks
Well,
trying to sort all this out, I'm just gonna
one
go ahead and I'm
mod
just
I
gonna start
think
playing the game again.
you definitely need is the 4K patcher
Uh,
because that will prevent a lot of your crashes.
Okay, well, I might because yeah,
Because
that stuff's easy enough to add in.
the game was never meant to be played on like modern hardware, so it's like you need this patcher.
I am playing it at 1280 by 720.
Well, I mean
Also,
like
so
the software is really like when it
right,
comes to like playing on the new shit, it's very difficult.
right. I haven't had any issues with anything like that as of yet, and could it look better? Sure. I did when I modded my uh Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 2. I've got a higher res model taken from the Twin Snakes, I think, and then it just
I
drops
gotta
it in
be
there.
honest, like
But
uh when it comes to modding, I am a modding hound. Like I play with like my Skyrim right now has 3,500 mods,
right, well,
and my New Vegas has 1,500.
yeah, I did a lot of mods on my Cyberpunk playthrough, but a lot of that stuff kept getting broken and whatnot. I like to when I've played through
Well,
a
with
game and I want to
Bethesda
go back
games,
through it again and kind of give it a little bit of a new experience. That's generally when I'll do it. But since I haven't played Fallout in like 10 years, uh, I was just like, I'll just
did the
run it.
mods on Cyberpunk break because the game updated or
That's generally what would happen, and so it just got to the point where I was like, you know what,
yeah.
I'll just play through this again in a couple years time after all the mod kind of stuff is settled, and but every time I go to get ready, it seems like they've got a new update
I don't
happening.
understand. The
So
game's old as fuck now. They get released at the same time as 76.
yeah, but I think we're living in a different time now when it comes to game support, and a lot of games nowadays seem to be getting released before they're actually ready, and so the first
That's
year that
why
something's out,
AI was gonna help. They'll make
right,
games literally like all you gotta do is fix the problems, and AI will do like most of the work. That's actually like busy work.
all right, but yeah, I think because of that, a lot of games now, the first year that they're out is just going back and it's almost like early access for the first year that a game comes out, it seems. But you know, with that said, though, Fallout New Vegas, having started it up again this week and just playing it straight as it, is loaded, I haven't had any issues with it so far. And is it the greatest looking game by today's standards? Probably not, but it's still perfectly serviceable for someone like me. I tend to go more for the immersive nature of the experience, rather than how much does this replicate, realism on a surface level. I don't mind. I don't mind it looking a little bit stylized and kind of whatever. But I am enjoying. I am enjoying my current playthrough that I'm just started in. Like I say, I think I've done about 30 hours so far.
Feeling about all of you listening.
He's always really upbeat. He always is very pro Vegas, and always has something good to say about what's going on.
Moving on here, this will be line 2.
Well, you know.
Did you hear like the lore is like it's unclear whether he's like an AI or an actual person, Radio New Vegas? Because like it's rumored that he's an AI, like that Mr. House controls.
No, I can't say that I'm too well versed in this.
Well, it's even clear in the games, like Mr. New Vegas isn't like ever seen in the games,
right?
Well, you can literally see Three Dog in Fallout 3. So
right.
What that means, folks, time for some news. Of all the things that I have done in my career, and I've done one or two, this has been the one thing that I have looked forward to, because it was so out of the realm of what I have done in my career. This is Mr. New Vegas wishing you ladylike luck tonight. I didn't have anything to do with being called Mr. Las Vegas. It was just the fact that I worked here so much and I wouldn't leave, that somewhere, somehow, one of the writers said, well, this has got to be Mr. Las Vegas. Want it again?
Yeah, that was great, but just one more time for the safety.
Hey, we've got some news for you coming right up.
We were lucky enough to get Felicia Day to be one of our Brotherhood of Steel members.
I see this is the part that you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah. This is the part about the modern audience slipping through a bit.
Which is fantastic, and it makes my
And funny
really
enough, I love Veronica as a character. Like she's a good character, but the actress, like in this interview, is a bit influencing shit.
Glow.
Recording Felicia Day has been.
Yeah, I would say that she's definitely become more ideological minded as time goes by. In terms of the Game Awards, she was out there for one of the few moments that was actually pretty cringy, and that was that whole thing that they did for. What do they call it? The Game Changers for Girls in Games, I believe is the name of the organization that they gave the award to, and she was up there for that. Yeah, Girls Make Games, I guess is specifically what it was called, and that was probably one of the cringiest moments of the Game Awards from 2025 was her being up there and the whole thing, because if they made a boys camp for game dev, you would never hear the end. Right. But you go and you do something where it's specifically for girls, and it's like, oh, well, we need to praise that, and it's like, all right, whatever. A lot of I constantly say subjectivity is subjectively subjective, but there's a lot of stuff that we put up with as just general white dudes in this world nowadays, that nothing is sacred for men, especially white dudes in general, because anything that you do, there has to be a subset and made specifically for other affiliated groups, to say it as nicely as I can. And if you make anything, it's just a big old boys club and that's why we have to do these things, like, well, have you ever considered that maybe the reason why there's right.
in a boys club,
right, because men and young boys gravitate towards this stuff to begin with, and it's just it is
just
the nature
inherently
of these things.
that, like, I'm sorry, the thing that 50% gamers are women, they include mobile games. Those aren't games.
Oh yeah, they fudge the math on that specifically to arrive at that statistic. That's the reason why they include the mobile games.
Yeah.
Joy, because she's so enthusiastic and she's so excited.
There's got to be something we can do. Veronica is a scribe for the Brotherhood of Steel. and she's sort of sardonic. She's really bright and also likes to punch things. So she's got everything going on for her, really. They need me, and I'm not going to abandon them. That's what I actually like about the character, is that she's a rabble-rouser, but it's for the good of everyone. She really wants to improve everyone's life, and she's willing to buck the system to get it done. But I read...
See, that's the part I was talking about.
The seed is there, yes.
I read the copy. I was like, oh, this is great. I just don't even have to be anything but a sassy me. It really sounds like it could be a good fit, doesn't it?
The character that I voice, his name is Arcade. He's a doctor.
By the way, I heard about this guy in Shazam. He got fucked, apparently. Like, he has such love for, like, this nerdy stuff, like games and comics. But, like, they just don't like him. Like, he got, like, dropped for so many roles and stuff because I guess he's more, isn't he, like, more conservative, I guess? Like, he's, like, he or at least he's conservative in the sense that, oh, I want these to actually be accurate to the comics, accurate to the game, stuff like that.
Right. Well, if that's the case, if he's an advocate for things existing as they are, then yeah, he probably wouldn't be welcome to most modern adaptations of things.
The option.
He actually is he gay in real life? Because he does play a gay character. Because Arcade in the games, like, he doesn't outright, like, he's not one of those gay characters. Oh, he's flamboyant. He's all this sort of shit. He's just like, oh, he's gay. That's whatever.
Well, this came out at a time where if a character was gay, then they just happened to be gay, but they were actually written as a full character.
Well, to be fair, Arcade is a good character, but he's like the weaker end. Like, Veronica being a lesbian is a better character than Arcade, like, just in general. Like Arcade is like on the lower totem pole of New Vegas characters.
Right. But what I'm saying is, this was back when storytelling was about actually telling a story and not, representing ideologies and things like that. So even if it was a point of the character, it's just a supporting detail. It's not.
Well, the meme about New Vegas is that it turns people trans or some shit.
I hadn't heard that.
It's like a meme because like apparently it, like, New Vegas is big in the trans community, and like it's actually even like on Xbox shown as a like, oh, trans and queer game, even though it has nothing to do with that.
Interesting. I think that they are given a lot of leeway to claim onto things that really don't have much to do anything with any of their bullshit. But if you prior to the show, when we were talking about cults and whatnot, that's kind of the thing that I'm talking about, is like that's their mindset. And so the way that they view everything in the world is through this lens that filters it. So because they project that out onto everything they see that in everything, whether it's
I think when it comes to the shit we were talking about before with Vault Dwellers, like, their naivety ends rather. What the fuck? Oh, that was through your mic.
Yeah, it's someone on a motorcycle going by.
So when it comes to like the naivety of Vault Dwellers, in every game they eventually overcome it, and well, minus the games you don't start as a Vault Dweller, but like, literally they overcome their naivety, but the show is like keeping that chick as like naive and like just peppy-go-lucky bullshit.
Well, I think we're seeing a shift, because when the character in season 1 with Lucy, they make it a point to go and say that vault was modeled on Nebraska, and being from Nebraska myself, I kind of chuckled at that and laughed a little bit, because
is it like the Canada of America where everyone just is happy?
Well, I mean, that's the stereotype, right? And so, and I think that's kind of where they leaned into it, trying to give it a starting point. But you go through that first season, and of course she's learning the ways of the wasteland, and then she probably gets her harshest lesson right there in the final
But
moments
it
where she
doesn't
actually
pay
deal
off
with her.
at all. Like when they transfer over to season 2, she doesn't keep that character growth. It just resets.
No, I wouldn't say that, because what I'm saying is because her harshest lesson that she even had to deal with happened right in the final episode of season 1, where she actually has to deal with her dad as who he is, not who she envisions him to be, right? And so when we get into the beginning of season 2, it picks up right from that moment. And so
Well, I want to cover this in particular in the like the general like story compared to the show in the animation.
Right. Well, yeah,
we can get to that.
Right. I'm just making a quick point, though. I'm just saying that I think that her character is quite literally in a state of transition. We've only seen 2 episodes so far, so we'll see how it goes from there. But anyway, continue on.
As the main character to befriend Arcade.
I honestly didn't expect you to say that. When I talked to you about
By the way, just side comment, you can literally sell Arcade into slavery. To the Legion as like a doctor for Caesar.
Right.
And the others, you seem to put a lot of value and loyalty to the past.
I've made it very clear to the powers that be, I'm a gamer. I'd like to do voices for your games. I'll have friends who aren't gamers and they do voices. I'm like, that's so unfair. Like, I actually care about this and you're the one who got to do the job. Bubkiss.
I need to make a stop before I settle in. I'll be back in a while.
By the way, isn't that like a Hebrew word, bubkiss, or is that like
possibly? I couldn't say specifically, but it seems fair enough.
Thanks again for your help. It means a lot to me.
Cool. Yeah, great. Hey, great man.
Marcus is a mutant, first of all. He's been around for a lot of years, and he's aged over the years.
Do you know this guy?
Yeah, he was Worf on Star Trek.
I'm pretty sure he was also in the Blade, or no, someone in this, these actors was in the Blade movies too. I think it was him, but I'm not sure.
But he's still mutant-like. And he is sort of like the sheriff of Jacobstown, which is near New Vegas.
If NCR or anybody else is looking for an excuse to attack
Yeah, he's coming back as a voice actor for Marcus, who appears in Fallout 2.
Right.
Jacobstown, they're not going to get it from us.
With Rene Aubergenois, from his very first line, he got the character, he got the tone, he got the delivery.
Mr. House, he's a very strange,
you know this guy?
and
like share your thoughts on the actors, because I'm sure you know these actors more than I do.
I'm not immediately familiar with what he's been in, but his voice does sound fairly familiar.
romantic character.
Give me 20 years, and I'll reignite the high technology development
Also,
sector.
just like the change from his natural voice to Mr. House, like not even like voice actors in anime can't properly do that differentiating, but this guy, who probably is more of an actor than a voice actor, can do it like perfectly.
50 years, and I'll have people in orbit.
His hope is to reignite and reinvigorate this world.
By the way, the fucking uncanny valley, Mr. House. Like this was beta, Mr. House.
Right.
Like he looks much better now, though.
In awe of his talent, because he's such a voiceover pro.
Now that you've arrived at your destination, what do you make of what you see?
Some say he's a man, others a machine. I don't care. He's in the way.
My word is law. I'm an extremely powerful character. Violence is how I rule.
Walk away if you want, but if you do, he's going up on a cross.
Is there anything old Vic can do you for?
If I find my way into a voice, a sort of a person will appear that doesn't sound like me and it doesn't think like me. That's always
Victor, like I'm gonna be honest, Victor is reason enough to side with House. Like House didn't have to save you. Like he could have gotten any of his employees to be his protege, but he chose a guy who was literally on death's door.
Well, I I'm still fairly, because like I said, it's been like 10 years since I last played through New Vegas, and I don't even know if I actually even
By
got
the
all
way,
the way
you're
through.
30 hours in and you're only in like Nipton. You're
Uh,
really exploring everything, huh?
I generally tend to go and search out the wasteland. I do a lot of tedious side quest stuff before I
Well,
ever
no,
get
I
into any game.
understand, but like when it comes to the side quests, from like before Novak, there's not that many. Like it's simple work to do.
Sure, but you know when I'm amassing tons of caps, and I play it in a very methodic kind of way. I
Oh, I do too.
there's a lot of
Fuck.
like this is all pre-work, and I'm going in and I'm just kind of getting the lay of the land, and doing a lot of pilfering and selling shit off, and just exploiting the various places that I can sell goods. So I'm constantly going back to Good Springs.
Oh, I do that a lot too.
So yeah. But I, I'm getting to the point though to where I've done the majority of the stuff that I need to do as my initial kind of setup, and the next place I'm scheduled to go is Novak, unless I decide to just put Eddie in the house and then just go into the
What
Divide.
house?
The Good Springs home, and just tell him just to wait there, and then I'll go
Good
and
Springs doesn't
I'll do
have a
the.
house.
There's a home location in Good Springs. It's a place where
Is it Victor's shack?
no. It's a place where the old man is asleep, because
Oh, you mean Mitchell? Doc Mitchell?
no the guy with the dynamite.
Oh, fucking Easy Pete.
Yeah, Easy Pete. So Easy Pete lives there, but there's like two rooms, and so one of them has a foot locker and a dresser and a desk.
I'd
And
be careful because those can. I'm not sure if they can reset or not.
no,
But
that one is literally called Good Springs Home. It is the home location.
well, when it's called Good Springs Home, I'm pretty sure that's what all the buildings are called.
Sure, but I haven't had any issues with it
Yeah.
so far.
Well, you can use pretty much like few locations as player homes, even though they aren't actually.
Right. It's all a matter of whether their stuff gets reset, but there's nothing in there to reset. So I'm using it because it's like
Oh yeah. Like your first player home is given to you in Novak because
right.
it's like the hotel motel room.
Right.
And
But
then obviously you upgrade to the Lucky 38 suite.
right. But for where I'm at currently, though, in
Yeah,
the
I
game,
know. Yeah,
this is
need a
my home
place
base
to
because
store shit.
it's right next to the saloon and the general store.
What did you do Prim's quest yet?
With
The sheriff.
Oh yeah.
Which choice did you go with?
It's the robot. Robot's the sheriff.
I always go with Myers, honestly.
So,
do you know who Myers is, or did you not like? He's the guy incarcerated at NCRCF.
Yeah.
The three choices are the NCR, but they get taxed, meaning that it increases your trade cost, meaning you sell for less and you get like a debuff to your trading, but the NCR take over. And then there's Myers, who decreases the prices of goods, but they get but they like with the NCR route, they get more ammo at the general store they have.
I don't know. It was one of the fairly early things I did, so I don't even know if I really had any exposure to the other groups and whatnot. So it just kind of
The NCR stop you and like talk to you about talking to Hayes early when you get near Prim the first time. But let's
yeah.
do it.
No, I just went with a fairly straightforward playthrough. It was just the robot. It's easy enough.
Well, the robot's like I'd never have enough science to do the robot because like it's like 50 science to hack him to be the sheriff.
Well, um, I invest heavily into science and lock picking whenever I start the game because I know that I'm always going to be using computers and
See, I always do like
box.
health or not health. What's it called? Speech, barter, and like a few other skill check like early skill check ones.
Yes, because it surprises me. It surprises them.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit if it ain't my old friend from Good Springs.
I can throw the gun at him if you want, boss.
Raul is like a very smart old ghoul. He's got a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience, you know, so he uses
This dude's a fucking legend, though. I like he appeared in fucking what's it called? George Lopez for like an episode as like some shitty, like a stereotypical shitty like undercode like what is it called? Wire guy, like electrician. And like because it's like he plays a lot of stereotypical Mexican characters. So like literally he is the stereotypical under the radar like fucking electrician in that show.
Right. Yeah, Danny Trejo
Very
great
lame
and everything.
Yeah.
But he's pretty sharp. It was early on. We didn't know just how serious it was out there.
Not too long ago, they took Nelson and Searchlight. They got some camps on the eastern shore of the Colorado, and a monstrosity on the hill across the lake. That's for Caesar.
Chris Christopherson, who's got an amazing voice, very thick and gravelly and really fun to work with.
Just keeping that dam secure and
Hey, he
operational.
kind of looks like you.
A little bit, you know. I mean, I've been compared to worse. Chris Christopherson's, you know, he's pretty great. He's in Blade.
Oh, this is the guy in Blade. Okay, I thought. Yeah, all right.
Day to day is enough work for one person. Every officer I ever talked to, every soldier, you know, it probably influenced some of my delivery on this.
So this will be lines 1 through 7, and it'll be take 1 whenever you're ready.
Rangers, this is the chief. I know I can ramble on sometimes, but I need you to listen close for the next minute or so.
Really, I didn't watch.
I think he might have been. I think he might have been in a vampire in one of them.
I was like they came out in what, the 90s?
2000s. The first one came out in 99, 98, 99.
Yeah, see, I was way too like I was born 1999, so like I was way too young to watch those, but I should probably watch them.
I hope players play this game, and I want them to be fully immersed in the world, and I want them to really feel each character when they're speaking to them as a totally different individual.
Yee-haw! Ain't that party?
We're gonna put the
All right, I'd rather stop here because we only got like 30 minutes before the end of the stream.
That's fine.
So.
Yeah. Well, I think that, you know, as Fallout Season 2 is going on, you know, we can always revisit other aspects of the making of the game for when we actually get to a further comparison. But yeah, no, it's I think this gives a good little bit of the characterization and everything like that went into it. And let me.
Well, you even
next thing.
compared this to like the voice acting and stuff like Fallout 4, like literally the voice acting in Starfield. It's all like so much of it is so atrocious. Like you have so many memorable characters in this game. And even the older games, like the older games had a lot of good. Well, there's only a few characters with actual voice acting.
Right.
But when you play those games, the few characters who have like the claymation heads that are talking, they are very good characters. Like they're not New Vegas Fallout 4, 76, stuff like that with such shitty characters and voice acting.
Right.
Let me stop sharing that and share the new one. which we'll be covering this until the end of the stream.
Indeed, yeah. So we're going to be covering a fanimation called Operation Sunburst.
So the context of this battle before we get into it is this is before the events in New Vegas.
Okay.
Pretty much what happens is so in I think it's the Fallout Bible, right? Which is something that came out after Fallout 2, I want to say, which goes over a lot of information on the games. It's referenced that the Brotherhood of Steel on the West Coast went to war with the NCR. And so what happened was they stole all their gold reserves, meaning that they no longer had the backing of gold on their dollar bill, which the NCR transferred to dollar bills.
Right.
From like caps, because something you gotta know, all like caps and stuff were not supposed to be permanent currency. Like when NCR formed in the second game, they all used NCR dollars now.
Right.
So what happened was that they stole all the gold. So in New Vegas proper, the money of the NCR is worth less than caps now. So they went back to using caps because NCR dollar was no longer as powerful without the gold reserves.
Right. Right.
So it's the relationship between the NCR and the Brotherhood of Steel was strenuous at best, but they were holding on to a solar power plant in the game. You obviously know about it afterwards, but Elijah pretty much wanted that power plant to be operational to use the orbital laser that literally used the sun to burn people. So he wasn't able to get it operational before the NCR came, and that's what we're watching now. Is like the battle between the NCR and the Brotherhood of Steel.
All right. Well, that gives it a little bit more context because I wasn't quite sure. I watched through it this morning, but was not all too.
Well, there's something you have to pay more attention to because it doesn't have much dialogue.
Right. Well, my read on it was, it's it's some good battle animation scenes and whatnot, but you gave me a lot more context in what you just said than really what I was able to kind of glean from watching it. But
yeah, this is just like the battle, which so when we could talk. I'll bring this up later, but we should get a little bit into it. One thing I'm a bit annoyed, while I understand why they use the Fallout 4 power armor, because objectively the Fallout 4 power armor is really cool, minus the whole fusion core bullshit that lasts 5 minutes, but obviously they wanted to use something from the modern games, even though in Fallout New Vegas it appears closer to like Fallout 1 and 2 power armor than it does 4.
Yeah, I assume they probably were just going with what were higher detail assets for the construction of this.
Yeah, probably, because I'm not sure how this was animated, but I'm pretty sure they used like some software, some bullshit that used the assets from the actual game to like portray this.
I would imagine they probably pulled the assets and assembled this in Blender. Would be my guess. I could be completely wrong on that, but that's my suspicion.
So this is supposed to be Faja Elijah, he's the elder of this chapter at this moment. When you meet the Brotherhood in the game, it's actually McNamara that becomes the elder. And this is after the defeat that Elijah pretty much goes to the DLC locations in the game, and he pretty much discovers dead money, which is the Sierra Madre Casino, so he can use the cloud and stuff to actually conquer the Mojave.
Mhm.
Also, I gotta say, I don't like the mall they use for Elijah because the problem with it is like he's really fucking old in New Vegas, right? And
Mhm.
this is only supposed to be like a year or like a few years before, but he looks a lot like not like a few years younger. He looks a lot younger.
Right.
Fall back and regroup.
That's also, I'm pretty sure this is also an animation from the game over here.
Mhm.
Like the when you do work on your power armor, this is one of the animations.
Yeah. Well,
Which I'm not discrediting him. This animation is extremely well done. I would also use assets from Fallout 4 to actually do shit like this.
Yeah, well, just from a technical standpoint, this being a fan-made project, I think that it's highly successful in terms of just bringing it all together and making it work and be cohesive for 40 some odd minutes of a story to tell. I think that's kind of my takeaway from it is the dedication and the passion that went into it is the thing that really kind of shines through.
Well, I think I'll bring it up now, but one thing I hate about the show, right, is like most of the Fallout games follow some war between factions, right?
Mm.
But it seems like in the show they are completely sidelining war in favor of a more dramatic and comedic story. So like for instance, I would much prefer the show follow something like this where it's two factions at odds and maybe a third party in a character that like is like not something like detailing the battle in some way but like not picking a side, but like maybe this war is going on in the background while the character is exploring the wasteland. But like the show is in favor of this family drama, which I hate. I hate every Bethesda bullshit tying some family member, some person to the player. Fallout 3, they have your father, Liam Neeson. Fallout 4, they have your son. And then in Fallout 76, they have the overseer being tied. You follow her trail.
Right. Well,
And then now in the show, they're following the father. Like, at what point is this like a trope that needs to end?
well, that's the doings of Emil
Yeah.
Fligerno, or however you say his last name. He has I had a conversation with him back in 2009 for about 4 or 5 hours, talking to him about various aspects of design concepts and storytelling and everything like that. And he's and I don't fully disagree with him on one of the points that he kind of tries to use as a crutch, but I don't think that I don't agree with him entirely. He would be the first person to tell you that the story doesn't matter, um, and that
That
most
is
people,
complete utter
I
stupidity in an RPG.
I'm not saying that I agree with it, but for him, like he seems to think that the story can be very surface level and just kind of be there because he thinks more people are more concerned with collecting duct tape than actually getting immersed in the story.
I'm sorry that like with new like not New Vegas with Fallout in general, that is the complete wrong attitude to have. And like I would love for you to talk to this YouTuber. I watch like he goes by Kretosis and like he literally fucking hates Emil. Like, and I completely agree with him. The dude's retarded.
Oh, well, I'm not very big fan of his either, considering that he basically got a whole bunch of ideas and things like that from our conversation. Said he wanted to keep in touch with me and all this kind of stuff, and then within 6
Yeah, I
weeks
feel
of
like
that conversation, he
I would
completely
love a
ghosted me.
conversation with you and Kretosis because like you have personal experience with him,
Right.
and like Kretosis mostly knows Emil from like his corporate talks at like GDC and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, well, that is where I met him, was at a GDC, and we ended up getting into one of the side rooms, and we just had a conversation. Like I said, it went for about like 4 or 6 hours. It was a long, in-depth kind of thing. I was talking to him about the thing I was working on and parallels and tone and things like that. And some of the stuff that I talked to him about kind of seemingly ended up in Fallout 4 in various ways. So I
Well,
can't
this
say
is
that he was directly impacted by that
Fallout
conversation,
3,
but
so like, well, I won't go into that some of the
yeah.
time, that discussion,
Yeah.
because I'd rather get into more of the video before,
Yeah.
like.
Oh yeah. No, that's fine. But yeah, I don't think that he's the world's greatest storyteller to
Like, I like,
summarize.
so when it comes to like I forget what we even were on talking about this to get to Emil, but the Fallout TV show. Like,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Fallout has always been about war, how it's inevitable that humanity is constantly at odds with itself. That we will never like change. Like, war never changes. It was never about, oh, the tools of war never change. It was more so about the fact that humanity will always fight itself, no matter the era. Like, literally the first game is about, oh, the killing power is no, he went. The first game goes over like, oh, the Spanish became a wealthy empire during its lust for gold. Hitler turned a battered Germany into an economic superpower,
Mhm.
and all this is like in favor. Like, it goes over into the entire aspect of why war is inevitable in humanity. But like, it's now changed to be an anti-capitalist and.
I don't even know so much if it's really anti-capitalist. I know a lot of people read that from it. But for me, like there's a huge difference between capitalism and corporatism, and capitalism is a means to an end for corporatism, but corporatism in and of itself is ultimately about power scheming, right? And so the scheme for power through the use of money is kind of more the thing that, as I'm
Well,
watching it, that's the thing that's apparent to me. But I think that it's easy to say, oh, capitalism bad is what they're doing, but I think ultimately what they're showing, at least I'm giving a little bit of breathing room, and maybe it'll end up not getting there. But for me, what I see is it's not that Vault Tech is trying to ensure profitability. They're trying to ensure management control, and they want a certain segment of society ultimately
Well,
to
that's
be the
not
ones
really
that
what they say, though. They say like,
benefit.
"Oh, there's a lot of profit in the
Right,
end of the
but
world."
people show and tell all the time. What is revealed through that. It's pay attention to the
But like, I
revelation.
understand like showing versus telling, but I feel like it's a bit of like you're saying
No,
like
no,
I
no, no,
know
no, no,
the
no. I'm not saying showing versus telling. I'm saying people show and tell on the surface level, but there's usually mechanizations and things like that that are steeped
Yeah.
down in the nitty-gritty details of
Well,
it. And so if you just read it as, oh, they're going after capitalism, I don't even think that that's really what it is. I think that, but we
well,
live
I
in
think to these people
interesting
though,
times.
to these people, corporatism and capitalism is one of the same though.
Well,
Like, a lot of them do think that though.
Well, I'm not saying that they don't, but also at the same time, if you actually kind of get into what those things are, and maybe that will be something that comes from this, is that, can you read it as capitalism bad? Yeah, sure, I suppose you can, but ultimately a lot of people don't like. Late stage capitalism is not a thing. You either have a capitalist based society, which is about small business interactions, competing for customers, things like that, or you don't. And what we have currently since COVID 1984 happened,
I think it's
you know,
gone before that too. Like
well,
corporatism has
right,
been a
right.
thing for a
Corporatism's
long
been,
time.
oh yeah, no, we've been in a zombie economy in the U.S. for 40 plus years now, you know, and it's only becoming worse and worse
But like, I
exponentially
want
because
to
of that
move on
corporatism.
from this because we could go on
Sure.
about this for hours. You know.
Yeah.
I want like get at least a bit further into
Yeah,
the
no
video.
worries. No worries.
This guy is supposed to be the guy who becomes elder in New Vegas after Elijah.
Right.
He's at this moment the head paladin. You can see they also got the let me go back. The Fallout 4 Securitrons, which I agree, those are definitely better than the Fallout 3 and New Vegas Securitrons. So like that's a design I like. The Deathclaw design for Fallout 4, dog shit compared to New Vegas and 3. Like there's some misses, some wins with Fallout 4's redesigns, but you know. So I'm unsure if this is supposed to be someone like the colonel at like what's it called? The colonel at what is the place called? Camp McCarran, not Lee Oliver, that's the fucking general guy. But like Colonel Shu. I'm unsure if this is supposed to be Colonel Shu, I think is. But like it's like some NCR higher up. By the way, the actual operation the NCR is naming this is Sunburst in the games actually. Like its reference is Operation Sunburst, where they try to wipe out the Brotherhood.
All right. Yeah, no, I assume that this is someone giving context to something that was in the game, you know, and just trying to make a visual representation for what is otherwise just
In the game,
notes.
it said that like the Brotherhood was outnumbered 20-1, but they were still able to survive even after losing many members.
Mm-hmm.
So like they were able to like completely like, and I feel like it showed in the show in the this video, right, that it's more a Pyrrhic victory against the Brotherhood.
Right.
Because the Brotherhood the Brotherhood during this battle was fighting 20-1, and they were still being able to push the NCR back even though being outnumbered that drastically. So like it was definitely a Pyrrhic victory, like in Total War or whatever.
Yeah, well, you know, they have the defensive position there in the area that's more secure.
The entire point of this this post, right? The entire argument is that everyone in the Brotherhood was voicing to Elijah that this was not a defensible location.
Right.
Like the bunker they inhabit in this, like at this time they own the bunker in Hidden Valley and then this place, but their main base is this place versus the bunker, which it should have been to, like, because the bunker is much more defensible.
Right, but this is more about the resource than it is their own livelihood.
Well, not so much. This was about getting a super weapon unlocked.
Right, and that's what I mean by the resource. You know, so they're more focused on that.
They didn't, like, none of the Brotherhood knew about that though. They thought he was a crackpot who was trying to get some power. They didn't know about the super weapon in this place. None of even the head paladin, the guy who becomes elder, did not know that this super weapon was here.
Right, but again, like, the motivations might not be clear to everyone, but if the guy who is at the center of it all, what are his thoughts, what are his mechanizations, and again, it's like it's power scheming, so if you have this weapon, then you'll ultimately have, in terms of capabilities, you'll have a far better go of things once you kind of secure that. Even if everybody else around you doesn't go along with it, but they still go along with you because you're the head, then ultimately, they don't need to know so much as to
Well,
why
one thing
you're
you
doing the
gotta
thing.
know about this Elijah guy, right? He was not a military commander like in the Brotherhood. He was a scribe, and
Right.
it's usually the paladins, the head paladin in particular, that becomes a elder. So
Right.
like this was out of whack that some scribe, and it was mostly because the West Coast wanted to get rid of Elijah. He questioned them on too many things, so he was sending them to pretty much go die in the waste with with like some personnel they could lose.
All right.
Status report. Troop deployments have been completed, but this area is not defensible. It's dangerous to make this our base, so we need to relocate. Enough! Fortify and protect this place. That's an order. Yes, sir.
By the way, something in the show I think is so stupid is the fact they add like a literal fucking Iron Man helmet going up on this when that was never like the design of power armor. Like,
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know. Even within this, you're talking about they're using assets from other games, things like that. Like every adaptation is going to have a little bit of.
well, I'm not talking about this. Like I'm talking about.
I
the
know,
show.
I know. You're talking about the show,
I
but
don't
that's
fault this guy for using Fallout 4 assets.
right.
I'm just commenting on the Fallout 4 assets I think were actually a good redesign versus a bad one, like the Death Claws.
But again, that's where I'm just saying, when left to do adaptations, there's probably always going to be stuff that you could sit here and say, that's why when I watch the Fallout series, I'm just kind of giving it its own space to kind of exist in, and where it goes from here, where they're talking about how the next Fallout game proper is going to be based on what's going on with this.
Oh my god, I'm so pissed about that. I'm gonna
That's kind of the thing, is it's like, I sit here and say I look at it as just kind of being its own take on Fallout, and so I give it a little bit more leeway.
I dream for the day Bethesda goes under and the IP is put up to sale, and hopefully someone else who's actually good gets the IP and does it right. I know that's unrealistic. It will never happen.
Yeah, but that's also the thing too, is the Fallout property has changed hands a few times now.
It's only one. It went from what, but basically everyone who was at Black Isle Interplay went to Black Isle. It wasn't like that changing of hands wasn't like nothing.
Well, yeah, that was minimal. But the point being, though, is every time that these things happen, once you go and put someone in control of a thing, whether it's in the large aspects or just in like, little kind of compartmentalized aspects of it, you give up some control to someone else. And so like, there's always going to be little kind of variations here and there.
I got a question. Do you mind if we go a bit over time,
do
or
what you got to do?
Because I would like to get a bit, like we're only 3 minutes in, or 4 actually. So
Reinforce the base. Yes, sir.
We might be here for a while.
I need to see this armor. I mean, this is weird. One second, let me get back to it. So this armor in particular is a bit weird. So this looks like combat armor from Fallout 1, 2, 3, and New Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like in Fallout 4's like engine, so it's a bit weird. Like it like the combat armor is replaced with the modular type of armor, right? Like you know how you played Fallout 4, right? Or no?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Like
but...
you know that like the armor changed from one like outfit to modular.
Right.
So like you have a left arm armor, a right arm armor, and all like chest piece stuff like that.
Yep.
So like that, like I like that they're using the old design for the combat armor in this animation, because I think that was a superior armor like looking type than the Fallout 4 one.
What? Hey!
Well, I'm not sure if this is some special unit, but like I feel like this is just regular troopers, because later on we see the actual Ranger division and in the Sniper division, first Recon, right? But like this is like I'm not sure if these are like supposed to be commandos or something like that, but this is, I'm assuming, just regular troopers. It's just like because it's nighttime, it's like stealthy, and so I'm unsure if these guys were trained in stealth or not.
Holy shit!
By the way, fan animation has laser weapons. The TV show doesn't. Like, I'm sorry, you're a big studio like Amazon. You don't have a single energy weapon going off. With the Brotherhood especially. The Brotherhood is all about energy weapons, but they don't have any. What bullshit is this?
It might show up in due time. It's I don't know. I think
correct me
that
if I'm wrong, but the Brotherhood is never shown with energy weapons in season 1, are they?
I can't immediately recall off the top of my head. I think that for a lot of, I think that most people see the big ass mech suits, and like the minigun is kind of the thing that
But even that has its own energy weapon variant with the Gatling laser.
Sure, but I don't want to. I'm like I say, I think that I'm not going to have any kind of bias into my judgment. I want to let season 2 play out before I start trying to pick away at anything with it too much.
Also, I'm sorry, but the guy they chose for Caesar, who is apparently still alive, unless it's a new Caesar, maybe it is, but he looks a lot like it looks like a lot like it's supposed to be the Caesar from the game, because obviously Caesar's the title. Like, it's also like the actual guy's name is Edward Sallow, but like the whole point is like, why does he look so much like the game version? But Caesar's supposed to be dead before the end of the game of New Vegas.
Again, it's one of those things where I'm letting this thing actually kind of present itself. I know that there are a lot of people that are annoyed that it doesn't have any kind of definitive, well, this is what.
Well, no, it does have definitive. We know it's a house victory because he's still alive. Every faction needs him dead besides the house victory. So they did canonize an ending. It's just like they did it without knowing it.
Possibly. I mean, again, this is one of those things where I'm gonna let it tell its story, and that's why I also just look at this as an adaptation, because the things that you're trying to do when you're putting somebody in a central role as the observer and the person who has agency to interact with the world is very different when you're, trying to say, well, I'm telling a story and you're just going to watch the story that's being told. You're not any of the main characters.
Be honest with me, though. I want you to be honest with me about one thing in the show. The fact the ghoul can destroy 3 power armored units and 3 bullets, that's a bit dumb, is it not? This is like the superb armor, but somehow he knows about this one location, like it's the hole in the Death Star.
Well, he evidently wore that armor, and
I know,
so,
but still, this armor is supposed to be top notch. That even the Chinese dragoon was fucked against it. Like, this is supposed to be top tier armor. It's not supposed to be able to be destroyed in one shot.
Well, I mean, this is one of those things, though, is a lot of things that are.
Just be honest. Is it dumb or is it not?
I don't have a problem with it. It might be a little bit of flimsy hand wavium, whatever, but it's there's always going to be some suspension of disbelief.
Let me be honest, though. There was a weak point on Fallout 4's power armor. It was on the back where the fusion core was. You could shoot the fusion core and it would eject from the power armor and make the power armor useless. They couldn't move.
Right.
But they didn't do that. They make it something in front of them like bullshit. They could have just made the ghoul turn out like what he shot out the lights, right? In that scene, they could have just made him like sneak behind them and shoot the fucking fusion cores on them.
Well, again, this is one of those things where it's like I'm trying to actually just let it tell.
How much of that can you actually hand wave away? Like, I'm not saying you're not allowed to like it, but some of the choices, like, come on, it's like a bit too much. Like, one is a needle in a haystack, but then it's just a whole bunch of needles in one hay.
Well, I don't know. I clearly I think that our perspectives on Fallout are very different, and in terms of what we expect from it and all this kind of stuff. I don't have any issues with it as it is currently, and it's still seemingly like the characterization is.
I think that they nailed the look of Fallout, as well, Bethesda Fallout in particular. But like, besides the point, like they nailed the look of it. It's just that the storytelling is dog shit, and like I want the storytelling to be good. But like the story of this show is like they retconned season 1 and season 2. Like the whole deal with we can talk about that when the show actually finishes. But like, let's get back to it. I don't know if this was monetized, but I don't. That like the gore in this is like wild. So I'm not sure if it's actually monetized. The bar, one of my favorite guns of World War II. I think that was the bar, right?
I couldn't say.
We'll see it later, I think. Bro, the fucking, was that varmint rifle? Fuck. Like, come on. Like, that's power armor. That's energy weapons. That is the Brotherhood. Like, this is such fucking... This is what the battle between the NCR and fucking Brotherhood should look like in the show.
Wipe them up!
That was, I think that's supposed to be the like end of the first wave of NCR that got wiped out.
Yeah, it's first act.
The ambush failed while the Paladins were out scouting, but all necessary reconnaissance is complete.
What about the surrounding hills?
We finished scouting the surrounding hills as well. It's more than enough to use for the operation.
Good. The NCR main force will arrive soon and link up with our vanguard. Keep the reconnaissance reports coming until we move on to the final operation. What a mess. Judging by the situation outside...
Wait, oh, so this guy, I must have mistaken him. This guy must be McNamara then. His power armor definitely looked like a lot.
War soon.
Paladin Lucius, welcome back.
I told you everything.
Lucius, who is Lucius?
I believe he's the guy who has the skull.
No, I get that, but one second. One second. Okay, I'm getting Black Clover shit when I look up Paladin Lucius, so clearly I'm not gonna be able to find it.
Yeah.
All right, back. Let's watch a bit more. I know it's we can, like, just what time is it? Let's go until like 9, or sorry, what time? It's 6:15.
Act us under cover of night.
No! Wait!
And yes, there will soon be war. I need you to reinforce the defenses here to prepare for the next attack. I'll report to Elder Elijah.
Yes, sir.
Ad Victorium. What can I help you with, sir?
Okay, I don't like that, but it's whatever. The Ad Victorium thing is Fallout 4. They didn't do that on the West Coast, but you know, it's whatever.
I need to speak with Elder Elijah.
Unfortunately, Elder Elijah is not authorized any contact.
And what exactly is he doing in there that's so important?
I'm not sure about the details, but he seemed to be looking for something.
Acknowledged. When you are able to get in contact with the Elder, let him know that the NCR is mustering for a large-scale offensive.
Yes, sir.
Where the hell is it, goddammit? No, it's okay. Yes, I just...
So this is pretty much him trying to find the like actual weapon in this place, because it's supposed, like, the weapon is actually supposed to be at the top of the like, there's this like central pillar in the thing where it goes up into the sky with like a reflector panel.
Right.
And that's supposed to be used to actually reflect the sun to become a beam. Or like radio to like something, maybe like a satellite or something to actually use it as like a beam.
Yeah.
But this is like him trying to find the actual location in this place of it.
Need to find it. I can fix everything.
You know, the animation in and of itself is successful in its construction. You know, they were very deliberate about the facial animations because they only have a few of them where you can actually see people talking. That's, you know, everybody's got masks on and things like that, which I think was a wise decision because they can focus more on just
Yeah, that's like the fucking most, like when it comes to like what even anime, right? That's like the most expensive part is to animate the mouths.
right. So, you know,
So they often like cover their mouths or something like that. They
Right,
actually make jokes about it in anime too. Oh, like you know how like, it's just bullshit. But we could actually stop here. Then we got like 8 minutes in.
yeah, but yeah, no, I think from what we've seen of this so far, and I would recommend to anybody to go and watch the full animation. It tells a nice little story. It's, you know, and it's presented in a lot of set like the set pieces are all based around the action of the battle itself, and you know, I think it was very successful, at least in terms of getting across what a battle for Helios 1 would look like, and with their limitations in terms of, I don't know how many people necessarily worked on this, but
I
it
think
seems
this
like
was
this
one
like
dude actually.
fashion. Yeah, it seems like it was a fairly small group passion project. There was
The thing
people
with
that
this, right? This isn't actually one like video. They actually released this in like 2-3 minute videos,
Mhm.
which they compiled it all into one video.
Right, and that makes sense, because, you know, like the fade ins, the fade outs, everything like that. So each one of these things that you're seeing is like a vignette, but it's telling a larger story ultimately, and the way that it kind of gets revealed as those various parts come together. That's, you know, I think quite successful, and, you know, just the way they went about actually taking the time to craft it and the various decisions that they made based on you know, resources that are available. Again, that's that whole thing about like the adaptation of using elements from
Well,
a later game.
some of this was actually like new because the combat armor like they're using a lot of the troops. That's not actually in Fallout 4. They replaced that, so clearly they must have made that in scratch.
Right. So, you know, but that's what I'm saying though, is like you have to make certain choices.
Actually, unless they use the Fallout 3 or New Vegas, like you know those mods that are trying to make it so Fallout 4 can become those games. They might have used the files from those, like the Fallout 4 New Vegas mod team, who was trying to remake all of New Vegas in Fallout 4, which I would love to play.
Possibly. I mean, you know, they could have started with lower end models and then used those as references and then made their own thing. I couldn't really say specifically, but you know, in terms of just what they ultimately put together, I think it's pretty great. You know, and for a lot of people, like this was probably the best that you could really get in terms of
I mean, when it comes
exploring
to
the lore and things like that.
choreography and stuff, right? Like the whole fact that, well, that's not what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but like the camera angles and stuff is used purposely for like to show like much larger scale, even though it's not really. Like this is supposed to be a 20-to-1 battle, but like it looks a lot bigger than it actually is. This is more like a 1-to-3 battle, but it's supposed to portray a like large scale NCR offensive against a smaller Brotherhood force.
Right, but again, the resources that you have available, you can't animate, you know, like that especially if this is like primarily one guy working on the whole thing. And again, that's where that whole thing where I say I let people kind of adapt things, within their means, and it's it at least evokes the appropriate kind of vibe check, I guess, for what it is. And is it 100%, accurate to everything? There's little nitpicky stuff that you can find. You've mentioned a few things, but does the overall thing actually kind of move forward in a way that at least is effective? I would say, yeah. It's I think it was perfectly fine. I watched it all the way through this morning, and seemed pretty enjoyable. And the way that they made certain choices about having people wear masks for when they actually have to be speaking lines and things like that, I thought that was actually a wise decision. For something like this, when you're talking about the limited scope in terms of how much time and resources that you can put towards doing this, sometimes you just have to work with what you have rather than trying to get like this grandiose kind of production in the way that you would want it. Just kind of have to sometimes just have to go with what's available.
All right. Well, you want to shill your shit?
I'm around tomorrow. I believe we are going to be back on WTF Live at the normal start time, 9 a.m. Eastern, doing an episode of Time in Red Dwarf in Space, reviewing episode 4 from season 8. And we're just doing just that one episode tomorrow because there's the next 2 episodes are a 2-part thing, so we're going to save that for next week's episode for review. And I think tomorrow we're going to basically just kind of get caught up from all the holiday stuff, and then do that episode review. You can always find me throughout the week on Will's channel at that same start time, 9 a.m. Eastern, on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. For WTF Live. And then Toasty and I should be doing a stream tomorrow evening as well over on her channel starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Probably be some low-key affair. Everybody's just kind of been doing holiday stuff, so I imagine we'll just kind of be hanging out, and I don't know if there's anything really necessarily planned, but we'll be there starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'm always there throughout the week, Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. If we are able to hold to the schedule and nothing comes up. And then next week on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, I'll be back on the Weekend Culture. We took a holiday break, so we were off last week and this week. And we do that generally every week, except when family emergencies, things like that happen. And then of course you and I will be back here again in a couple weeks time to get further into whatever's going on right after the new year starts. But otherwise, I'm generally fairly easy to find. The easiest way to get a hold of me and see all the various things, just go to my X profile at problematic_John, or look for Problematic White Guy, and that'll hook you up to all the other things that you can find me on, my other platforms that I do stuff. But currently all I really do is co-host on other people's shows. But for anybody that is taking the time out of their day to watch us, here on the live stream or for the VODs, thanks so much for giving us a little bit of your time and consideration. But of course, with that said, you all have a wonderful week going forward. Of course, safe travels ahead, and be awesome as always.
Yep. All right. I can end it. See ya.